All right, guys, we are going to start a new lesson today. This is another kind of factoring we're going to do. Last week and before spring break, we were factoring out the GCF. I'm going to apologize for the shaky video again. I'm working on a better way to do this where you guys can see it and I can record it and it's not so shaky, but I'm not quite there yet. So first thing we're going to do before we factor difference of squares is we are going to review these two warm-up problems multiplying binomials. Okay, so when we multiply our binomials, there's a couple different ways to do that. One way is to distribute, or sometimes we call it FOIL. Okay, so I'm going to multiply my first terms. X times x is x squared. X times negative 4 gives us minus 4x. And then 4 times x gives us positive 4x. Sorry for the shakes. And 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Okay, but now that we have multiplied, we have to combine like terms. Like terms I have are minus 4x plus 4x, but what's going to happen when I combine those? Well, those are going to cancel out. Negative 4x plus 4x is just 0, so those cancel, and what I'm left with is x squared minus 16. Okay, we can do the same thing with the third example. So I forgot to mention that the ones I have highlighted here, those are the ones that I'm actually going to do. I'm not going to take you through this whole notes worksheet front and back because that would take forever. So we're just going to do the highlighted ones, and then I'm actually going to post a copy of the completed notes every single problem in case you wanted to try those on your own for a little extra practice. Okay, so distributing is the way we did the first problem. Another way to do that some some of you saw, especially if you have me second or fifth with Coach Thomas, is the box method. Okay, so I'm going to do this next one with the box method. Distributing will give you the same thing. This is just another way to do it, another way to organize it. Okay, I've got 2a plus 3b, and then 2a minus 3b. And what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply within the boxes whatever is above it and whatever's to the left of it. 2 times 2 is 4. A times a is a squared. Then over here, 2 times 3 is 6. A times b is just ab. 2a times negative 3b, that's 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. A times b is ab. And then 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. B times b is b squared. And again, we're going to combine our like terms. Negative 6ab plus 6ab, those are going to cancel out. And so all I'm left with is the 4a squared minus 9b squared. So 4a squared minus 9b squared. Okay? Now, what happens on both of these examples is we end up with what we call a difference of squares. Okay, difference because we're subtracting. Notice this is minus, this is minus. Of squares because these are all perfect squares. What I mean by a perfect square is that if we took the square root, it would be a nice pretty number. On the numerical pieces, those are not going to give me decimals if I square root those. They're called perfect squares. Okay. And so if you come back to the problem, the other thing you'll notice is in these binomials, the terms are the same. The only difference is here we're adding and here we're subtracting. Okay, so that's x plus 4, that's x minus 4. This was 2a plus 3b, this was 2a minus 3b. Okay, so if you remember from before we left for the break, when we started factoring, we were factoring out the GCF, we said that factoring is basically, instead of going from here to here like we do when we multiply, factoring moves us in the other direction. So factoring difference of squares, we're going to look at problems that look like this, and we're going to factor them and put them in this form right here. Okay? So, and again, this is the part where I would make sure that you guys don't have any questions. If you do have questions, send me a message, and don't forget that I will be online tomorrow, and really every day this week from 9 to 9:30, 12:30 to 1, and then 3:30 to 4. So if you want to, we can have a little video meeting or even just audio and check in with any questions that you have at that point. Okay? I'm going to stop this. I'll post another video here in just a sec.